Hey, Einstein, where's the dot, boy? Huh?
Creatives, how are you? Welcome back to the Nerd Creative channel. FANHOME, Build the Back to the Future DeLorean, part 13. In this video, we'll be completing issue 39 of the build, and my desk looks a bit strange because we left the car propped up on brackets as we were supposed to at the end of the last video. So I'm going to move this aside. These are the components for issue 39. Here's magazine 39. Grab yourself a coffee, sit back, relax and enjoy. So another shot of the model completed. So I'm just going to open it up. These are all the components that come with it. There's a chassis plate there. They have a number of wires. We've got 9, 10, 11, 22 and 23. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tabs. Let me just slide down. We've got 6 tabs and we've got KM screws, more KM screws. I have to keep pulling the magazine away. So we've got our step-by-step instructions of all the cables that are going to go in. There you go. And it completed, we'll have all these new cables in. We're not putting the chassis plate in this issue, we're just doing the wiring. Lights, camera, action. On the evening of February 1989, the first shot was filmed for Back to the Future Part 2. Here and here. And then we've got Donald Fullylove, who played Mayor Goldie Wilson in Back to the Future, and I think it was Back to the Future 2 as well, re-elect Mayor Goldie Wilson. Then we've got a look at issue 40 and the components that come with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my admin work with the car sat underneath it, so that'll be fun. So these are our components here. So we've got cables, we've got screws, we've got this big chassis plate here that seems to be made of plastic. So I think that's the internal. I think that'll sit here. That is the floor of the inside of the car, which it looks like. I will find out. So I'm just going to open up this issue here. There we go. So that's our chassis plate there. Just going to pop that out. So that looks like it goes here. So we're starting to build the inside of the car. That's the inside. That's the flooring of the inside of the car. This is the first time we're actually building something. I think it maybe go that way. Maybe, I don't know. No, I think it probably goes that way. There, like that. I'm thinking that's the front of the car. We'll find out. And then we have cables. That's quite good because this part wasn't covered, but these are covered, all the wires. So I'm just going to lift that out there. And then we've got, if you can see, we've got KM screws. Make sure we've got everything. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, 5, 6. So we've got 6 of those tabs. And then we've got our cables that are labelled. So I'll put them to the side. That's our cables. going to put this back together. Keep knocking the camera because okay, so we've got more KM screws, so we'll put these KM screws inside here. Our admin work. Take that bit of cardboard out. Rid of our rubbish. We just check that we have everything. So we have in this issue, so we've got the chassis plate here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cables. Let's count them up. We have we've got 9 and 10, 23, 22 and 11. We've got them. We've got our KM screws and we've got our tabs. So we've got everything we need for the build. So I'm just going to put this magazine aside and this chassis plate aside because we're not using this chassis plate in this build. So we've got our screws, our screwdrivers, our components. Let's get cracking. So I've spun the car around again. So this is the back, this is the engine block. I've got our cables here. We have 9, 10, 11 and 23. So what we need to do is we need to feed them between these two posts here, like that, there. And we need to make sure they are, let's see if they're all the same size, that they're about, I can do that afterwards. So what I'm going to do is, to start with, I'm going to place one of these tabs that will hold, oops, I think it goes in there, yeah, to hold this, hold those cables in place. I need to get a KM screw. Get my KM screws out. I'll do what I did before. I'm going to put a screw in there, like that. So there's the screw, there's the tab. So the tab goes in there, and the screw goes in there. There we go. I'm going to screw the first one in place. We've got our 4 cables in there, so I'm just going to screw it in place. Like I said, I could do with a second pair of hands. Just hold that. There. That's our 4 cables all connected and held in place. Now we can get our ruler and measure 5 or 6 centimeters from this post out. That's about right there. We probably need this one pulling out a bit further there, so that they're all sitting at the same size there. So the next thing we need to do is we need to get another of these tabs and a KM screw and just bring them together there. And we need to feed our wires. We need to we need to feed our wires through here. Like that. And then screw that in place. There, they're held in place now. And then the next place we need to feed the wires through here. These two columns there. So I'll get a tab and a screw. Put them together. Now the tab goes on that side. Just screw that in place. Oops, popped out. There. So the cables pass under these three tabs and come out at the bottom here. Make sure they're not getting tangled up. And those four sit like that in there. So we're getting a lot of cables. So that's the three there. And we are left with, how many cables did we have in this build? Because we've used 4 cables. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we've got 4 in there. So we've got this 22 cable that is left. We just unravel it and straighten it out. So we've turned the car around again, so there's the engine block, there's the front. We've got this final cable here, which is 22, and we need to put this here. It'll pass through these two here, so I'm going to just check where it goes. Okay, so I'm going to get my KM screws out again. I need 3 of them. I'm going to put a screw into the tab there, and then I'm going to attach there. That's in place. You might not be able to see what I'm doing. From this angle, you can now. So I'm just going to screw this tab in place. Oops, I need to hold the car. To do that, just put my arm over here. It's a bit fiddly there, just there. So that's that one in place. We just need to measure 5 or 6 centimeters out. So there, okay. And then we need to feed along there. Let's just move that. Need to feed it along these two here. And I think we need to feed them in between them two there. And put another tab in there. So we get our tab, put the screw in into the tab there. So that's our screw, that's our tab, and it goes in like that. Tabs in, screws in. It's a bit tricky. Let's just swap fingers over. Screws in, tabs in, just get the screwdriver in place. I've got lights and camera in the way, so that's the screw and the tab in place. That tab's quite loose, and we've got our cable passing through, which is here, and then we need to put our third screw. Actually, no, I think we needed to put one there and there as well. Yep, that's our third one that I've done. This is the one we need to do now. I know why that's loose, because it's in the wrong hole. Let me just... It's the wrong way around. Let's just pull that out, spin it around, put the tab, because the hole's smaller for the tab. So let's put the tab in there and the screw in there. Ooh. Very difficult to do without knocking the camera, because the car is raised. There, that's that in place. We've got one more tab, one more screw to put in place. There. Tab, location, lug and screw there. There, it's in place. Screw that in place now. That's all our cabling done. The cable's going from here, under that tab, under that tab, under that tab, and out to here. So that is all our cabling done now. See there, here, and here. See all this cable in here. And that's our chassis plate that we're not putting on in this issue. And that's how it should look. So that completes issue 39 of the build. Got, as I said before, we've got merch for the channel. We've got our Nerd Creative range, and we have our Stay Creative range. The link's in the description. Get what you want. I'd like to thank you for your company. I'll see you in the next video. Stay creative.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?